What up, guys? What up, guys? This is Sid Might Be. Tonight we're gonna be talking about things about Serbia that are Middle Eastern. So, like, I just think the Middle Eastern traits of Serbia and Serbians is like really fucking interesting. So, like, all right, here we go. So I wrote a whole bunch of shit down. Like most of this is off the top of my head, but like a couple is like some shit I searched up, and the ones that I searched up was like fucking vocab words. So like, okay. All right, fucking things about Serbia that are Middle Eastern. Fucking with a squiggle and shit, because that's how we used to do tagging back in 2009 and shit. Okay. A lot. So a lot means tool. So probably like a wrench or like a screwdriver and shit. And it comes from Arabic, and it's the same word. So it's just kind of like directly translated. So like, I guess like the way the word worked, it was like naturally kind of like Slavic sounding. So there was like nothing to change. You know, it's like Serbian sounding. There was nothing to change. So like, and then my moon is another one. So like, that means monkey in Serbian, and it's part of like one of my aliases on social media. Like, I'm Sedina Majmunovic on something. How to get gamer juice and shit. I mean, gamer as in like video games, not fucking racism and shit. But fucking okay. Man, I wish I had glasses so I could do that shit. Like, fucking next one, Shablia. So that's like it's a Serbian sword, and I think this is really interesting and cool because it's like a microcosm of a macrocosm, you know. So it's like basically it's showing what essentially Serbia is, which is like a mix of like Slavic, European, and like Ottoman, Middle Eastern, and those are the two biggest flavors going on in Serbia, and the Serbian ethnicity and ethos, and like the shield and emblem of all of Serbian ethnicity, like it, because in the Torah each ethnicity has that. But like, okay, we're not talking about the Torah right now. And so the Shablia is like it's in between a scimitar and like a European straight, like King Arthur looking sword, and I just find that particularly fucking sick, because like, in a good way. That kind of sounded bad, but like sick as in millennial sick, and because it's a fucking, you know, it's like a curved sword, but not all the way. You know, it's like a little, it's like a tinge Middle Eastern, but not all the way. So like, goddamn, ever so fucking interesting, this Shablia. And Chochek. Okay, Chochek is like a type of music, and like music dance type thing. So it's like it has like, it's characterized by having weird time signatures from the perspective of Western ears. So it's like 7/8 and some shit like that. And I don't really know how time signatures work. It's been a long time since I made music, but like I guess it's like does it go 1 2 3 4 or 1 2 3 4 5 6 7? It's like somewhere it's like then how the beat breaks down. So like, I only ever did 4 for 4 because that's what made sense mathematically in my head and shit, because that's what always like Western music was like and shit. But when it comes to Serbian music, and especially Chochek, it has this weird ass out there time signature. Fucking love it. And the dance is kind of cool. It's kind of like shifting back and forth and kind of like doing that shit. Sorry, I'm being real cringe, but it's like, it's real smooth though. It's real smooth and sexy and shit. And it's it reminds me of what's Devojka. It's like this type of like music where it's like fucking, it's real like sneaky and fucking like, but it's sneaky, but like sneaky sexy, like Jafar from fucking Aladdin, you know, like is pretty cool. And like yeah, Chochek is like one of my favorite type musics. And if you go on my best Colo playlist, which is publicly available on this channel, you'll find a lot of the Chochek, and you'll kind of notice it because it's like Chochek is definitely like, okay, yes, sorry, the history of Chochek, it's like it comes from the Romani community, so like Serbia kind of like assimilated Chochek into like greater Serbian-ness, but like Chochek is originally a like Romani Roma type tradition, you know, but it became Serbian, but we kind of like swagger jacked them. And I don't really want to say that, 'cause, I mean, we kind of did, though. We kind of did, but it became so part of Serbian culture and music that it's like, it's inseparable at this point. And like, obviously, like when the Roma sing, it's like totally, I mean, it's not totally different from Serbian, but it's like a lot more complicated, you know, and like they add like extra notes in different ways that Serbians don't really typically find comfortable, and it's not fluid for them, but it is for Roma because they're just like built like that and shit. They can they got these real ancient traditional Rajasthani fucking ways, you know, they're Rajasthani ways, and it's very I get why we swagger jacked them out, that's all I'll say. So next one, Chavapi. Chavapi is fucking, it's literally just a translation of kebab. It's just Serbian kebabs. It's like the national dish is kebabs. Straight up Arabic ass kebabs. And like, beautiful. But like, why we gotta kind of hide it so much? Like, we, like, even for like accounting for Serbian phonetics and like how like how you would break it down in like a Serbian way of saying kebab, like you could just like it would just be kebab, you know, it'd just be kebab, because you know that's how we say Arab. We could say Arab and fucking or Arab. I'm fucking, you know, I'm American and shit. Like I'm diasporically Serbian, but I'm like American, so I'm, you know, my accent's all type of funky and shit. So next one, Shaikacha. And oh my god, here, let me like move out of frame though. I'm in a mini slip. A Shaikacha hat. It is basically the Serbian fez. Especially if I pull it a little bit. Look how fez like that looks like. Oh, I'd be none the wiser. Now like now it's distinct, you know. It has that it's built, I mean, the design comes from the shaika, which is like a Serbian canoe. We probably use it on the Drina. And this came about back when we were colonized by Austria, and we were kind of like guarding the border between Austria and Serbia, and fucking the military decided to adopt this, but I'm pretty sure it's older than that, because it's like kind of from the just central Serbian region of Šumadija, and it's a very traditional hat, and it looks also like influences of the time, which were Ottoman. And so like, and from kind of, you know, 1371 all the way up to like 1912, when every last bit, that's from the first bit of Serbian territory taken over by Ottomans to the very last that we got back. And so that's like a total of like, it's either 572 or 540 something years, but like, yeah, no wonder, because look at the hat, like it looks fez like, you know, it's brimless, but that just, we'll get to brimless because that's another point. But like yeah, this thing is like, to me it strikes Middle Eastern, you know. I don't know about y'all, a lot of people here kind of think it's like military of the sort, which it isn't and it isn't, because in Serbia, you know, this is like just a traditional old ass dude hat, but it's also a military hat due to the association of the Haiduks, who, oh, that's another Arabic word, Haiduk, but it means like cool ass warrior and shit. Okay, fucking next it says Saz. Saz or Saz. It's a Serbian guitar. It comes from Turkey. And if anything sounds Middle Eastern from Turkey, it's not from their Turkish influence. It has to be from Persian or Arabic. And Persians get a lot of their culture from Arabic. And so most likely this is Arabic. Like pretty much every other point on here is Arabic. I didn't really find any Persian influence, but that's just because like Slavic is so similar to Persian anyways, because they're both Satem languages, which something to do with like similarity in how like Western languages are like Sati, I forgot, bro, but like Satem is definitely the type of language that Slavs and Indo-Iranians they're a part of. It's like basically I'm saying that Slavic is like kind of like an older branch of Indo-European that's more similar to Sanskrit and Indo-Iranian than it is to Germanic and therefore English, which is true. And so fucking yeah, the Saz, Serbian guitar, which comes from the Middle East. Next point is hookah culture. So this is like kind of really established cultural thing element in Serbia. This is like something we've been doing since like probably 1371. Because this is obviously not something that's originating in. Does hookah culture strike you as something that's like Germanic or North Slavic, you know, Western or Eastern? Nah, this shit is like fucking. This is definitely some Ottoman shit right here. This hookah culture, and it's widespread in Serbia. It's like, it's the shit to do. Next point is tree culture. So, another point, yeah, is tree culture kind of like a Western Germanic thing? Is it kind of like a Slavic thing? Is it like a Polish or fucking Russian or Ukrainian or Slovak or Czech thing? No. It's not a Belarusian thing either. It's a fucking South Slavic, specifically Serbian, Bulgarian, Macedonian, Montenegrin, Bosnian thing. I don't think Croatians have the hookah or the tree culture, but you could strike me down in the comments, y'all. Next is sat. So that means time or clock. So it's like, depends on how you say it. It's like, I've heard sati. Fucking, man, all I know is really Serbian vocab. I don't know how to break it down into like grammar or like how to say it, pronounce it correctly, which is really sad because I've been like, this has been my special interest since I was like fucking 19. What am I, 29 now? So it's like 10 years in the making. This is like a third of my life and I don't know how to do the grammar in this language. Fucking pathetic, y'all. But like, yeah, sat is time. Alright, fucking next one. I like how this shit gleam. This looks like I'm reading y'all a scroll. Okay, next one. Pastoralist. So Serbians are historically pastoralist culture, which means that we raise shit like lambs and like just like animals, livestock, that type shit. We're not really farmers. We're not really pirates, you know. We're not really nomadic type people, you know. We're not like the Avars. We came in after them. Avars devastated all this shit in here. Serbs came in. We settled peacefully and mixed. Yeah, no one like says that like Poles are colonizers, but Poles came to, they Slavified modern Poland at the same time Serbs Slavified modern Serbia. But you don't hear Germanics calling Poles colonizers. So like I don't know why it sticks with Serbia. Anyway. I don't want to get fucking political, but like I had to because I'm Serbian and shit. So like, okay, no. Next one. Brimless hats. Brimless hats is a very important point because this is how you determine, this is an easy determinant of are you a Westerner or are you a person of the East. Fucking a Westerner will have a hat with a brim on it. It has to do with the way they pray. Westerners don't pray with their head to the ground. Like fucking, so you'll never catch them in a brimless hat. Not traditionally, at least. Not since like the early modern era or whatever. So like, I mean like 1800s and shit. So fucking Catholics won't wear a brimless hat. They'll usually wear like a fedora looking type thing. And you know, Protestants, they got that buckle shit going on. But no, Serbians, we have the brimless hat, which is primarily the shaikacha. Fucking, because when we pray, we dip down and we touch our freaking forehead to the ground. And in order to do that, you need a hat that's brimless. And thank you to Oreste Papadopoulos, or Papadopoul from Cora. He's like my favorite chord contributor. Fucking every answer is like a fucking gem and shit. But yeah, follow Oreste, Oreste Papadopoul. Kind of, so like write POP, something like that, and it'll come up. And he's like Romanian, but he's like Romanian Greek and shit, because that's why his name's Papadopoul. But like, yeah. Anyway, tangent. Fucking we explained brimless hats. Next is Haji. So like Haji, oh yeah, scroll. Haji is a Serbian name. You'll find all types of Serbians, you know, just normal Serbians with this name. It's a guy's name. So like it just comes from the Middle East and shit, you know, like, does Haji sound like a fucking nice little German boy name? Does it sound like a English guy, you know, with a lollipop and shit? Nah, this sounds like the real deal fucking Balkan shit, you know, Middle Eastern shit. Is fucking Haji in the bitch. So catch a Serbian guy with the name Haji out there, because it's definitely a thing. And yeah, for whatever reason, it's one of those Turkisms that, I mean, Serbia always retained Turkisms and never purged them like Greeks did with their language. Probably because like deep down Serbians want like a smidge of exotics, so that when Albanians call us colonizers, we can be like, oh look, they're being racist and shit. I deadass think that's why we do this shit. But like yeah, anyway, Haji, fucking Serbian name, came from the Middle East. Next is Bakshish. Bakshish is fucking tip money. So like yeah, money you get from a tip money. So when I go to the tree store, I put the $2 in. That's bakshish. And wow, that's so fun to say. I'm probably saying it bad. I'm probably saying it Bosnian style or something, like bakshish. Wow, beautiful. I told my aunt that, and like she like giggled, like, because it's like a fucking great word. Wow, so cool. So glad that we have that as Serbians. Next up is guslar. So like guslar is like it's someone who plays the gusli and sings the accompanying poetry with it. So it's like a guslar is like a guslar poet. It is like a poet of gusli music. That made a hell of a lot of sense. Yeah, fucking yeah, you know, like so the gusli is a real primitive looking instrument. So it's basically, it's like, think of like a prospector up in the mountains, and he's trying to get like a fire started because it's the end of the day and everything's kind of wet, and he has the gold in the pan and shit, and he's like has a stake with like a string on it, and he's going like trying to fucking start. That's a fucking gusli. That's a gusli. That's a Serbian traditional instrument. It comes from Slavic tradition, believe it or not, but it's like it just strikes so Balkan. And like anyway, it sounds like an out-of-tune violin, but it's just one string, and it's just like and it's like Beliska Tokla, shit like that. Fucking, it kind of sounds like that shit. And fucking man, that probably sounded bad and shit, but like fucking, it's real powerful though. It comes from like, it's like they do this thing, it's like kind of the Slavic style of white singing, as it's called, where it's like you're kind of like opening up your whole throat and really like just kind of like laser blasting the fucking music out your soul and shit. Like it's a real distinct style. Like I have this guy posted on my channel already. It's Faria Faraji. So go to his channel. He's a great source for like music history and shit. And it's his opinion that the white singing, which is that characteristic Slavic like laser beam singing, full-throated, is he says that that's distinctly Slavic and like ethnically Slavic style of singing. And so like I believe him. And so like I think it's really cool, like and they kind of just belt it, but then they do that. Oh, this is a point coming up, but it's like melismatic singing, where it sounds like to a Western ear like Middle Eastern sounding. And so he's playing that one string instrument, and then he's like belting to high heaven, and he's singing melismatically, and just to a Westerner, you're just going like fucking, you can't believe the fucking shit, like he's going and you're just like, holy fuck, like enthralled. Yeah, the instrument itself looks kind of ignorant, but like the ancient way that a guslar will sing is like so striking and shit that you'll just be like taken aback, and you'll be impressed. You'll be impressed because it's impressive and shit. And fucking next is Zlato. So Zlato is like gold culture, so gold wearing culture. I kind of noticed this with like Armenians and Greeks and like broadly Arabs, but it's like just a tendency to like be kind of gaudy and just wear like a lot of chains, or just at least like gold chain, and then have like a bracelet, and then like have like a bunch of rings, and then like yeah, probably, you know, bracelet, rings, necklace, just a lot of Zlato. So Zlato, and it just means gold. But the word Zlato is a Slavic word. It's not the word that's Middle Eastern. It's kind of the culture of wearing a ton of gold jewelry. And so like I just think personally that that's like an Eastern Mediterranean trait. Broadly Balkan, broadly Eastern Mediterranean, you know, but Balkan is kind of inclusive of the region of the Eastern Mediterranean. And so like, you know, like Greece is definitely an Eastern Mediterranean country, and so like the Balkans is kind of like a hybrid area of that. And to me, gold wearing culture just strikes me as that, and not so much you know, a Northwestern European or like a Western Slav or Eastern Slavic tradition. Like you don't really see those guys doing that. You see other Southern Europeans do it, and I think this is also kind of like a broadly Southern European cultural trait. So I definitely say though, this is a very Southern European and Middle Eastern cultural trait, wearing lots of gold jewelry, and I fucking love it. Next is saying Amin, A-M-I-N, for ending a prayer. And so like this is traditionally kind of like a Muslim thing to do, and but Serbians also say it. And like I looked up on Grok, and I was like trying to see if this is like one of those Ottoman osmosis type things, or is this like I just suggested that it was, and then it was like, no, it's actually like an Eastern Orthodox liturgical tradition to say Amin. And maybe it's just because like Eastern Orthodoxy is just like more Middle Eastern adjacent, and during the Ottoman Empire, Eastern Orthodox Serbs paid less of a tax than the Croatian Catholics or any other Catholics, like you could be Albanian Catholic and shit, and like you paid less of a tax, and you were like less oppressed. Like you had more chances and opportunities of integration within the Ottoman system, because if you were Orthodox Christian. And that's just because from the perspective of Turks, Orthodox Christianity was like a very, that was like the type of Christianity that was characteristic of the broader region, which is the Eastern Mediterranean, Middle East area. And like, that was like, if you were a Christian, you were Orthodox Christian, and you weren't Catholic, because Catholic means you're Frank, means you're Westerner. So Serbians being the easternmost Western people, being the westernmost Eastern people, we were always Eastern Orthodox. and that's what you get by blood. And yeah, we say amin. We say amin to end prayer. And Tangier. Tangier means plate. Yep, like basic ass plate that you put like some pizza rolls on, you know. And so like it's Arabic, very Arabic. Next is vest culture. So like a traditional Serbian attire is like kind of those wrapped skinnies, you know, wrapped skinny pants, and but kind of like more poofy on the thigh, and kind of like wrapped around on the shin. So it's kind of like that baggy, kind of cool looking Middle Eastern look. And then vest with kind of like a sash around the waist. So maybe you could put like a knife in there, put some darts in there, you know, like fucking, or some tree in there. So like, yeah, vest culture. That's just very Middle Eastern to me, and like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, I can't really explain that one. That's just kind of a personal thing. And next is melismatic singing. Melismatic singing is like when you're like doing that characteristic like wavy up and down, like la, shit like that, like fucking holy fuck, bro. Anyway, fucking melismatic singing. It sounds like that characteristic Arabic singing, and Serbians also sing like that because of Ottoman tradition, but also I think it's just the hunch that original Balkan type people just sang like that, because original Balkan people came pretty much straight from Anatolia, and that was their kind of like phenotype look and shit, and they probably already singing like that over there. And when they went to the Balkans, the first people in the Balkans sang like that, and because they're Eastern Mediterranean type people. And when the Serbs came in the 600s, we mixed with them thoroughly those that Thracian, Illyrian, Vinca element, that indigenous Balkan element, and that's like, it's like half our genes and shit. Fucking yeah, that Dinaric element. Next is a maqam. So a maqam is like the modal scales of like what Islamic music sounds like. So like Serbian music also uses maqams, but we just don't call them that. And it's just how naturally we like the music to sound. And it just sounds, to Western ear, it sounds Middle Eastern. So like, that's another Serbian thing that are things about, that's another thing about Serbia that is Middle Eastern. So last one is like a blood feud culture. Now I know this is also like a Southern Italian thing, but as you know, Southern Italians are Albanians. I'm just gonna like leave it there, you know, because it's just, if you know, you know. And if you're Albanian watching this, you know that Southern Italians are Albanian, because that's just true and shit. It's just fucking true. Blood feud culture, you know, like your brother dated my sister, and then you cheated on my sister, and then I kill you. Fucking, that's blood feud culture. And fucking yeah, it's very Balkan, but it's also very Middle Eastern, but it's also very Southern Italian, but that's because it's also very about Albanian, which is Balkan, which it all just comes back to Albania. All roads lead to Albania, and whatever you're thinking about is probably Albanian. Alright, night guys, thank you for watching. Love you for watching, and this is a great topic.